Hey everyone, welcome to my ASMR stream. I got a new mic, so hopefully my audio quality is a bit better. Today I'm going to be looking through different team comps for the Poison rule set. Somebody in Discord mentioned that I should start looking through rule sets, so that's what I'm doing now, starting with the Poison one. So some of the abilities you can use that are really useful specifically with the Poison rule set is Scavenger, Heal, Immunity, Affliction, Cleanse, Life Leech, Oppress, and Divine Shield. These are specifically good because the Poison rule set afflicts poison onto all of the units in the field, and that causes them either to take 2 damage per turn or have it negated by something like Immunity or Cleanse. So the first one I want to show you guys is, this isn't an ability, but I'll be looking through those one by one later on, but more of a broken combo, which is no secret, it's La Macron. This is a very expensive combo, but it's specifically strong in poison because of its extra health that it gives, the Cleanse, the Last Stand, and the Heal. These all contribute to like an 18 health cron, which heals 6 per turn and isn't afflicted by poison, while dealing lots of damage of its own. So it's, I want to say it's unbeatable, but there might be a way to still beat it. So the first ability I'm going to be looking at is Scavenger, and this causes the monster to gain 1 max health each time any monster dies. So this can be the opponent's monster, it can be your own monster. So what you could do in this Poison rule set is play a bunch of low mana cost units to essentially sacrifice to give your Scavenger unit a lot more health. So currently the 3 Scavenger units in Bronze are Gelatinous Cube, Venari Seedsmith, and Antminers. Gelatinous Cube is very useful because with the 8 health, it's going to soak up a bunch of the poison damage. The Scavenger is going to proc on everyone else because it has so much health, it's going to survive after everyone else dies and then get its health. Venari Seedsmith starts with a very low base health. I don't recommend it because it takes up 5 mana. Antminers, you could throw one in there and hopefully it'll tank a couple of shots before going out. It's more of a cheap tank than anything. I don't expect its health to go up that high because of poison killing it quickly. But if the opponent plays it wrong and plays a lot of low health units, Antminers is going to get a lot of health. The next ability is going to be Heal, and this monitor causes the monster to heal 1/3 of its max health before it attacks, rounded down with a minimum of 2 health. So cards like Cerberus, Haunted Spirit, and Cornelius are going to be your go-tos in Bronze. Cerberus and Haunted Spirit you can probably put in the middle or back. Cornelius, it doesn't matter too much because you can also use it to tank. These will basically match the damage from poison. So essentially you're having these soak up the damage rather than losing health every turn. The next ability is Life Leech, and the idea behind this is quite similar to Heal. So it's going to keep increasing your health based on your damage dealt this time. So Ancient Lich is going to be really good because he has 3 attack. So this 3 is going to heal you for 2. I believe it's half of the damage dealt rounded up. So Ancient Lich is going to heal you for 2 per turn, and that matches the 2 damage taken from poison. And if you have Delwyn Dragon Scale, matching it with Zauron Ifrit or Black Dragon is going to have essentially the same effect as Ancient Lich. You're going to be healing 2 per turn, starting off with 3 so you won't die in the first turn if you somehow miss to a phase unit or something like that. So this is just another alternative to having Heal. The only downside is if they have a unit with 1 or 2 health, you're only going to heal for 1 health, and then you might start taking, like, accumulating damage from poison every turn. Next is Immunity and Cleanse. This is going to be the most useful abilities in the poison rule set because it removes the ability. So Almo, Cambio, and Kralis. Almo is a bit more budget than Kralis, but Kralis is very good for this kind of rule set. If you also have like an Earthquake rule set going on at the same time, Kralis is basically perfect. Although you could use Bright and Bloom in that case. Then we have Silver Shield, Bard, and Herbalist for our cleanses in Bronze. Silver Shield Bronze gets it at level 1, so there's no reason to have a leveled copy of this, while Herbalist gets this at level 3. So you're going to need a level 2 summoner, rare summoner, or like a legendary summoner to be able to use Herbalist's cleanse. Other than that, Silver Shield Bard is very good because it can be slapped in at any time because it has 1 mana. So even if you're lacking in mana, or if it's a low mana cap, you can always put this in to prevent your front line from taking that poison damage every turn. Next we have Affliction, which when hitting a target, the target has a 50% chance to apply Affliction, which prevents them from healing. One of these cards is Captain's Ghost. There are a bunch of others like Undead Archer, off the top of my head, Serpentine Mystic. And these cards are kind of RNG based, so I can't recommend them. But if your opponent is going heal, which they usually will go in poison rule sets unless they have Almo, Cambio, or Kralis, or they're lucky enough to know about Silver Shield Bard or Herbalist. If they go that, this can be a really good counter. If they don't, then Affliction is essentially useless. So I can't recommend this every time, but if you see them, maybe they have a Flesh Golem, Affliction is going to be really useful. Next one is Oppress. You guys might be wondering why I'm discussing Oppress in this, because it's kind of niche. It's very niche. But I'm saying Oppress is a good card because it counters things like Kelp Initiate, Pelacor Conjurer, Warrior of Peace, these kinds of cheap tanks that they're willing to throw up to protect their the tank that they want to keep in the back. If they have something like an Almo Cambio, it's going to deal double damage to that. And in this rule set, I would not recommend Grenadier. With 1 health, it's going to die after only getting 1 attack off. Lunakari Mistress, on the other hand, has 6 health, so it's going to survive for at least 3 turns. Another thing that's very important in poison rule sets is looking at the health. Since it does 2 damage per turn, having things with 9 health, such as Warrior of Peace, if you put this in the middle or back, it's going to tank the damage for 4 turns, and then die on the 5th. While Lunakari Mistress tanks 2 turns and then dies on the 3rd. That's why Kelp Initiate's going to be really good, maybe as a secondary tank in case your first one goes down, and maybe you can have something like an Almo in the back or something like that. Next is Divine Shield. The only card I'm going to recommend for this is going to be Lorna Shine, because the other cards with Divine Shield will only have Divine Shield for itself. So those cards aren't going to have things like heal or immunity or cleanse, so it's more useful to just have Lorna Shine, who can give it to everyone. It's kind of a wasted stat if you, for example, I think Divine Sorceress, that card has Divine Shield, but she only has 1 health, so she's only going to last 2 turns anyway. Some abilities you might want to avoid are going to be Void. This doesn't reduce poison damage, if you're wondering. Dispel doesn't remove Cleanse. So if this is some sort of misconception you had, then yeah, don't try this. It's not going to work. Weaken is another ability where you decreases the health of each enemy monster by 1. and this causes... Sometimes it can be useful, but it's too niche for me to recommend, because in bronze there's only Goblin Shaman and Undead Priest, I believe, that have weaken, and they can only survive 2 turns max of poison. So they're going to probably die before the opponents. And then you have Stun. This is very useful into heal. However, since in bronze you only really have access to Pit Ogre that has this, and Pit Ogre is going to be really bad in this rule set. Then we have Void Armor. This kind of like Void, it doesn't stop the poison damage from going through. The poison damage goes past Void Armor. So that's kind of like the idea behind how you should be playing poison, what kind of abilities you should be using. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, any team comps you want me to look at, or do any video ideas, you can put them in the comments and come over to the Discord server, which I've just started, I think 2 days ago, and the link to that is in the description. We'll be happy to have you. I'm going to be streaming in November, so you can look out for that. Here's a link to my channel. Alright, see ya.